see the letter on the account of Christy Belcourt, who is an incredible Métis artist and activist. And I just want to stand before you here today to say not to be disheartened, that we are at a time when everyone is going to stand up and everyone is going to know that this is a fucking genocide and that our country is complicit in it. That we are not only complicit, but Canada is participating in a genocide. Institutions like TMU are participating in the genocide. That as Indigenous people, day in and day out, we see this country invalidate our truth and the very lived realities that we are experiencing. The deaths that we are experiencing at the hands of this country, and yet we persist. Same thing for Palestine. We will stand with Palestinians until we resist this genocide, and we call upon the world to wake the fuck up. Security guards. The Trudeau also comes just weeks after SJP TMU and pro-Palestine students released an expose which clearly shows TMU's complicity in the ongoing occupation, ethnic cleansing, and genocide enacted by the Zionist regime and its collaborators. And in addition, TMU's critical role in the rise of anti-Palestinian racism on this campus. This outrage for the assault of the students is amazing. We love to see you all here. But we must ask a critical question. Why is there more outrage about this one student than there has been over the past 2 years of genocide? Where is this outrage for TMU's investments in the genocide of over 500,000 Palestinians? We ask not to judge or shame, but to call attention to the reality of our current situation. We have become desensitized to the suffering of Palestinians. But as long as they experience occupation, as long as the settler colony oppresses the ancestral people of Palestine, we must not stay silent. We cannot afford to be desensitized when our loved ones in Palestine continue to be shot, bombed, burned, dismembered, starved, abducted, and tortured. We must continue showing up. The student who was brutalized appreciates the immense support she has received, but knowing her, I can say this. What she wants more than anything is for people to speak up for Palestine in the same way that they are doing for her. And we also have to recognize that our struggles are interconnected. We know that the Zionist regime is not just after Palestine. We have seen them bomb Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, Iran. We have seen them bomb Qatar. We have seen them bomb so many places. And yet we see how the world is silent. So we ask that keep this rage inside your heart. But don't just be rageful because this student could be you one day. Be rageful because this institution is protecting its investments in genocide! Solidarity for Palestine and for its people in Gaza. Friends, students, colleagues, thank you for coming together to express your solidarity and support for one of our own students and to voice your concerns over TMU's continuous indifference to and neglection of pain and trauma, Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza inflicts on many Palestinian students and employees. As you are gathered to protest the brutal, cowardly, and unwarranted attack on a female TMU student for the crime of peacefully protesting an act of genocide that continues to bring pain, suffering, and mass slaughter on the Palestinian people. We are reminded that we live and function in a racist system that acts against Palestinians and against Palestinian human rights. What makes this unprovoked assault especially painful is that it demonstrates TMU's disregard for the right of Palestinian students to protest, for their immense trauma they carry over the daily mass slaughter of their people and loved ones. This incident is not only a grave injustice, but also a reflection of TMU's hypocrisy and double standards. This Palestine exception is shameful and needs to end. For years, TMU has built a reputation of being a champion of social justice, anti-oppression, and anti-colonialism, and social responsiveness. We were told to believe that this claim applies to all and that TMU was genuinely about these values. However, TMU's poor response on the ongoing genocide in Gaza, including this incident, is shameful. Handling of Zionist defamation campaigns against some of its pro-Palestine students and employees, myself included, have proven that those values are nothing more than performative acts and a cliche. Simply speaking, TMU has failed the Palestine test. During the course of this horrific genocide, Israel has committed a well-documented genocide in Gaza. It systematically destroyed all universities and all post-secondary institutions, all schools. And it killed and jailed tens of thousands of Palestinian teachers, scholars, and students. In 3 academic years in a row, students in Gaza are left with no education. Instead of clearly denouncing this genocide and offering support to preserve scholarship in Palestine, TMU has repeatedly shown the side against and marginalized the voices of those who protest. As someone with deep personal ties to Palestine, including family in Gaza, who have faced death, injury, and displacement, home demolition, starvation, and other severe hardships, this incident is especially painful and sensitive. Therefore, I demand that those responsible for this cowardly assault on a minority female student must be held accountable. I also demand that TMU apologize to the students and that it shall provide them with the support they need and deserve, including the termination of those unfounded allegations against them. And all of those in attendance to write TMU administration demanding justice for the students. In closing, please keep talking about Palestine. Call out the complicity in genocide and call for an end to the occupation. Your advocacy and protest brings us closer and ending these historic injustices.
A Palestinian professor who has had first-hand repression at this school. We will now be listening to a couple of professors who stand in solidarity with us today. Please give them a big round of applause.
I would like to direct the few minutes I have to speak to faculty who are not present here. Those who have been silent and inactive for the past 2 years. Some of my colleagues in TMU are more empathetic to those faculty who are afraid, who have been passive. I'm super angry, and I'm very frustrated and disappointed for those who have been neutral. So I will speak to them and say, our institutions are not us. TMU does not represent us. Our role in society is more than that. Society is more than that. As professors, we're here to support students, to enable spaces where they can grow and grow worlds perhaps you and I do not yet fully understand. While these institutions do not represent us, and we should not be loyal to them, our loyalty as educators should always be to the idea of education as a right for all. And the collective transformation and liberation. That is why we're here for. Being neutral as an academic amidst a historical student movement against the genocide that is being attacked by institutions like TMU is actively deciding to become a tool in aiding the racist, capitalist, colonial agendas of Western universities and states alike. That is how powerful the role of professors are. We could choose to be on the side of oppression or liberation. discussing EDI, student-centeredness, equity, all the words that feel good, make profit for them and for the institution. I call on everyone present today to not allow institutions and individuals to get away with profiting from feel-good equity words without them being committed to action. More so PhD and graduate students, whenever any professor talks about social justice, decolonization, ask them what it is that they do in action on and off campus. So well. They got it to you. And then you decided to go protest. There's a settler, colonial violence, really ethnically cleansing a whole people. So you decided, because of them, to go and protest. And then the security on campus dragged you, handcuffed you, got the police on you. Ask them whether or not they would show up. And where were they today? And what's the point of all this learning if you can't act? It's important, and I think we and others have mentioned that, to stop this hypocrisy of making profit out of our bodies and bringing us in and making money of us, and just commit to action. Whoever is not acting, let's not trust institutions and
I'm going to project loudly because I hear that back on here. This way, even louder, Okay, I'll try. So we're standing here today as faculty members who are outraged at TMU campus security's use of force against a student last Friday. We express full solidarity with the wronged student and with all students, all of you today here who have taken the moral stance of speaking out loudly against the genocide in Gaza. The use of force against the student was horrifying and chilling because TMU campus security is supposed to keep students safe. And instead we have a situation where a couple of campus security officers attacked the student so brutally and so violently that as a professor of criminology who teaches about unjust use of force and criminalization, I'm especially appalled that this happened on our campus. Shame! Since last fall, and in fact for the last year, faculty have addressed TMU administration asking them to deal with the presence of militia groups on campus. Militia groups like Magen Harut that take pride in the use of violence, that violently attacked the York University student only last week. The same group was seen here on TMU campus 2 weeks ago. So our administration and our campus security doesn't have the capacity to do anything about them, but are all too willing to attack our own students. Shame. And what is the apparent excuse for this attack? For calling out a Canadian government official for not speaking out about an ongoing genocide in Gaza. A genocide which has not been named by TMU or the Canadian government or the mainstream press. This is in face of when the UN, the Association of Genocide Scholars, and human rights organizations have all called it a genocide. A genocide that is live streamed on social media, that has seen Israel starve and bomb people, reduce Gaza to a rubble, destroy all Muslim universities, assassinate journalists and doctors with impunity, and like all colonial powers, make plans to carve it up. Shame! In closing, I want to remind us that we should not see this as an isolated incident, but as a dereliction of duty by TMU administration tasked to keep students, faculty, and staff safe. Administration saying that campus security officers have been reassigned, which they have told us apparently, does nothing to address the underlying unsafety facing our community here. We are demanding faculty a full investigation of the security protocols at the event on Friday. How can an event, a pious event that's supposed to celebrate democracy, end up in violent use of force against a student expressing dissent? Shame. Faculty have also come to learn that TMU administration is pursuing disciplinary action against this student. What a farce! We demand that TMU immediately drop any disciplinary or other charges facing the student. We hope that this will be a learning moment where TMU will finally find the courage to say and do the right thing. We expect no less than the university to speak up against the genocide, against anti-Palestinian racism, and restructured security practices in collaboration with its community and the union. At last, I say this to TMU. Have a spine, break the chain, justice now for Palestine.
Omar from the Canadian Federation of Students Ontario. He's a representative of the National Executive Representative. He's a national representative.
Executive representative of the Canadian Federation of Students Ontario. We are the oldest and largest student organization across the entire province, representing over 350,000 students. We fight for a free and accessible education for all, knowing that our education is constantly deprioritized. Education is a public good. Education is a human right. We access post-secondary education to broaden our horizons, connect across communities, and sharpen our joint struggle. Rather than investing in our educational experience, our institutions remain chronically and intentionally underfunded. And despite that, our institutions instead prioritize investments in weapons and arms manufacturers, fossil fuels, and imperialism.
All to manufacture our consent by investing our tuition in companies that further the occupation and genocide of the Palestinian people. Despite 2 years of ongoing genocide and manufactured famine and continuous displacement, our institutions and elected officials continue to refuse to act. When students demand divestment, we are met with violence and threats. The attack we witnessed here at TMU is part of a larger pattern where institutions violently suppress Palestinian advocacy while their complicity continues. Shame! Students have constantly said that police have no place in our education. Cops and so-called campus safety do not make our campuses safer. Their presence only ensures that the state can monitor, repress, and attack students like we just witnessed. When students protest against the genocide and expose their elected officials, security are trained to physically grab, lift, and throw students around. Once again, all in protection of a genocide that these institutions are complicit in. Shame!
Clear. We, as students in our education, are not their priority. Their priorities instead are in fact profit over people, furthering the occupation and genocide of the Palestinian people, the destruction of our world and climate, and the shielding of genocide.
apologists on our campuses, all at the expense of students and our student experience. Shame! As students, we are sick of hearing condemnation after condemnation. We demand action! We demand an end to our institution's complicity in all forms. Be full disclosure and divestment from any company or institution furthering the genocide of the Palestinian people. The removal of campus security and police from our campuses, and an end to the repression and brutalization of students as we fight for an end to this genocide and a better future for all of us. Students have always been at the forefront of collective struggle and solidarity efforts. Whether it is the boycotting against the South African apartheid or protesting against the Vietnam invasion, students have paved the way for collective struggles time and time again. Despite the active role the government and our institutions play in furthering this genocide, despite the literal beatings that students have to take while we are on the front lines, we come back time and time again. Because when we're already struggling to pay tuition, and said tuition is being used to fund a genocide.
Also, been experiencing the repression for over 2 years now. I'm going to welcome her.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming together in solidarity against the violent student repression that Palestinian and pro-Palestinian students have been facing. I am here to say that we, the students, refuse to begin another academic school year at this grossly complicit institution. We will not accept business as usual when Palestinians are facing the worst stages of this genocide as we speak. When our university cowers away when confronted about its unethical investments, shame. When our classmates are being targeted, harassed, surveilled, threatened, and brutalized on this very campus. Because they dare to speak out against TMU's complicity in the genocide of Palestinians. The violent student repression that we all witnessed last Friday was not an isolated incident. It was a horrifying symptom of anti-Palestinian racism that the TMU administration has allowed to run rampant on our campus and within our academic spaces. Shame! Over the past 2 years, students on this campus have been organizing and protesting against the university's complicity in the genocide of Palestinians. We have been demanding full disclosure of the university's financial holdings and total divestment from the Zionist entity. TMU administration has done nothing except make a concerted effort to deceive its students and the larger community through disingenuous statements, bad faith communications, and plain lies. Shame! In April of this year, TMU administration allowed a student-recognized group to welcome 2 IOF war criminals onto our campus. The administration was made aware of this disgusting propaganda event and still allowed it to take place. In fact, TMU security responded to the event hosting these war criminals to protect them. Shame! Despite all of the concerns raised, including over 1,200 emails sent in a petition campaign to TMU administration to get SSI and IOF off of our campus, our provost and vice president Roberta denied that it ever took place on campus. Shame! The allowance of war criminals onto our campus is nothing but a despicable The university administration knows what their jobs are and what their responsibilities entail, but ultimately, they continue to ignore their students, neglect their duties, and fail to uphold TMU's supposed values. Shame! TMU administration has nothing but time on their hands. They want to wait us out. They hope that we tire ourselves from all of our efforts and that Palestine will become a forgotten headline in the media. But let us be absolutely clear. We, the students, and the larger community who have joined us today are not organizing for today, tomorrow, or even this year alone. We are a part of a student-led movement that spans across decades and various struggles against oppression. The student-led movement against South African apartheid took decades to achieve total divestment, and we carry that memory forward with us. What propels us to keep going is knowing that we are empowered by the masses and history itself. We look to the student BDS movement, civil rights, anti-war movement, and the ongoing indigenous land back movement to anchor us in our fight. My message to President Mohamed Lashami is this: students, faculty, and community members, and our unions will continue to show up in the face of this repression. We are mobilizing.
Zionism not for campus!
Genocide on this campus. Get arrested.
The officer's name, the officer's badge number, the name of the police officer's service. While acting in the course of their duty, a police officer shall, upon request, provide their name, badge number, and the name of the police service to any member of the public. Any member of the public. To the lawyer, my guy, trust me.
By Balls Act, it was an arrest.
The image center.
University, speaking on behalf of the Solidarity for Palestinian Human Rights Group, McMaster SPHR. Our organization has existed since the 90s, defending Palestinian sovereignty and standing as one of the only few student groups representing the student intifada on campus currently. The genocide enablers that make up our university administration have suspended us for 2 years. And that is not counting the 9 months of suspension that preceded us before the official ban. They believe that their crimes can outlive our cause, that they can criminalize dissent and anything that threatens their capital interests, having their mercenaries write institutional policies to suppress and punish students who demand justice. They think that they can threaten our communities, invite Zionists onto our campuses, and funnel our tax dollars to companies that sustain themselves off of genocide like L3 Harris, Lockheed Martin, Saffron, Northrop Grumman, Textron, Oshkosh. I am disgusted to read these names out loud, and I am sickened by the cowardice of our academic institutions, using racism as a cover for capitalism, choosing repression and brutalization upon their students to further fund a genocide. Shame! What happened to our beloved comrade on TMU grounds was a shameful violation of our right to assemble and protest university investments, and our right to question who our institutions choose to host on our campuses. I salute every single student who attended the disgusting MP Evan Solomon's forum, showing up and asking the right questions, which is our responsibility to Gaza. And we can promise them that for every MP they host, we will be there to speak for Gaza. But someone will always ask why our institutions are funding a genocide and why they haven't divested. We will ask what our university leaders and our MPs are doing to stop this genocide, as it is our right. And we will make them uncomfortable, because genocide should make you uncomfortable. Real change never came from the cowards and warmongers who uphold the state with their policies, but it is built from the mass mobilization of us on the streets and from taking power back to the people. It comes from our refusal to be silent and our dedication to resisting. Do they really think that they can starve Gaza's children to death and we would just disappear? Did they think they could brutalize one of our comrades and we would not take to the streets? We are in every corner of this country, in every city and on every campus. They will never comprehend that even after 7 decades, we are not going anywhere. We refuse to be silent. As students, our knowledge of political power, of the structures surrounding us built on genocide, slavery, rape, and oppression, we will use these to expose and crumble the decaying walls of these institutions that will never save us. It is only us who will free our people, and it is only the Palestinians who will free Palestine. We stand alongside the resistance in everything they are doing to change the political reality for Gaza, for Palestine, and for all people thrust by Western hegemony and imperialism abroad. As students, we do not that all come with their relevant prestige. We will narrate Gaza on our campuses, and as the students of the Intifada, we carry the message that genocide is an assault on all life, and that our younger generation, us, we are dedicated to resistance and justice around the world, and we will make power to the people a reality. Because we fight, because we love the people. Okay, I want to read something from Prince Fanon since we're talking about political education. He says, this is from Merchant of the Earth. To educate the masses politically cannot mean making a political speech. What it means is to try relentlessly and passionately to teach the masses that everything depends on them. That if we stagnate, it is due to their responsibility. And if we go forward, it is due to them too. That there is no such thing as a demiurge. That there is no famous man who will take the responsibility for everything. But that the demiurge is the people themselves, and the magic hands are finally only the hands of the people. We will never compromise on our demands. May our big tyrants die small, and may all our political prisoners be freed.
Mere days before our students were brutalized, he was brutalized on his campus! Let her speak for herself now.
Last week, just days before a student was brutalized on this campus, I too was brutalized by thugs, by a militia that is very familiar with this campus. A security guard from Magen Harut, a profoundly Zionist organization, attacked me, a Palestinian student from Gaza, choking me for 10 seconds, thrashing me on the ground, and sending me to the hospital for stitches. Shame! Where was my campus's security to protect me then? Where was my university's condemnation of these acts? And as always, trying to silence us, trying to depoliticize these situations, our complicit institution at York didn't even mention the word Palestine in what happened in their statement. And after this assault, more than anything, when I was fearing for my life on the ground as my comrades were trying to pull this person off of me, I thought about the fact that next year, my sister is attending TMU right here, another Palestinian student. And I think about the fact that these same thugs are allowed to roam freely on a campus that she is going to be on. My sister may be subjected to the same hate, the same demonism that is Zionism to every single Palestinian. Every single day of our lives for generations, we have had to be face to face with these Nazis, with these evil baby killers. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the hatred. I'm tired of the villainy. And I'm tired of our silence. We need to be louder. I am tired of 2 years of seeing dead bodies of children every single day. I am tired of seeing everything my family has known be reduced to rubble. I am tired of Palestinians and our allies everywhere be defamed, be attacked, be injured. But most importantly, other than just being tired, I am filled with rage. At the fact that this is what we see as normal here. That this is what we have begun to accept. And I look to all of you, and I want to remind each and every one of you that even though you may not be Palestinian, you are human. And at the end of the day, this issue is one of dehumanization. I want you to read what your friend was attacked on campus. To what ends would you go to seek justice? Justice is the truth. And at the end of the day, the people in this building, the people in the administrative buildings at York, and the people who allow these things to happen are the ones who seek to prevent it. So I want you to feel the same rage as I do, TMU. Do you feel rage? All it takes is one domino to fall. Even if you are one person, you have friends, you have allies, you have strength. Bring that energy for the rest of your life. Because if you're not standing for Palestinian liberation, if you're not trying to protect those around you, what are you doing with your life?
Has been detained by TPS and is currently being held in the Image Arts Building. How dare this campus continue to criminalize us and brutalize us in a pathetic attempt at suppression? This is our We will be marching over to the Image Arts Building.
About what just happened. We had last week a student brutalized on his campus, and yet again, someone who attended this protest was detained by TPS. Shame! They detained them in that building. Shame! We want to make something clear. We are obviously making a difference. They are scared. They saw all the news crew here. They see all of you who showed up, and the school is fucking terrified.
We do at a protest is actually make sure we know what cops are on site. So we ask for their names and their badge numbers, which they are legally mandated to give us under their own code of conduct. Well, these particular two cops decided they didn't want to. And they said that if he asked them one more time what their names and badge numbers were, they were going to arrest him. As you can see, he asked them one more time and pointed out to them that the code of conduct says, and I quote, while acting in the course of their duties, a police officer shall, upon request, provide their name, badge number, and the name of their police service to any member of the public in a manner reasonable in the circumstances. And that's what they arrested him for. So we are legal support, so he's got legal support. Lawyers already. Which I believe is where he's being held. So that's 52. 51. Oh, I don't know that we want everybody to go there. Every time we go to 51 Division and it turns into another protest, pepper spray starts, and yeah, we're not doing it. So yeah, we're small group of people will go over there to do legal support.
When we sing, who can just say, please keep us notoriously, every time we have a rally, a protest, anything on campus, we make sure we have lawyers, we make sure we have legal observers, we make sure we have marshals. And I want to do an exercise with you. I'm gonna say something, and you're gonna repeat exactly what I said so everyone in the back can hear, okay? Today at this rally, someone who attended, who is a part of our legal team, asked the police, for their name and badge, for which police are obliged to do. It is our legal right to have this information. And TPS told them that if they kept asking, they would arrest them for harassment. Summarized, this person was arrested for exercising their right under so-called Canadian law. Shame! I'm gonna say something, and I want you to say SJP. Is murdered, and we have MPs and administration who are complicit, and yet they arrest somebody for simply exercising their right. And I can tell you right now that they do this because they are terrified of us. They know that if enough pressure is applied, they will have to divest from genocide. So are we gonna ever stop protesting? Are we gonna let Lashemi invest in genocide? And I want to make something else very clear. All of us have seen the videos of children on our phones saying, please donate, please speak up for us. So I'm telling you, 2 hours a week showing up to a protest using your voice is absolutely nothing compared to the sacrifice our families, our loved ones in Palestine are experiencing. And I also want to make something else very clear. A lot of people have not spoken to administration or spoken to MPs, but we have. When we have told them that our loved ones are being bombed, they have laughed in our faces. Shame! And we have told them that we are so depressed we cannot go to school. They've told us, oh, we understand. No, the hell you don't. When we tell them that they're investing in genocide, they tell us that their investments are ethical. I have a question. Is investing in genocide ethical?
Administration continues to ignore us. You need to keep up the pressure.
Today, we are gathered here. TMU has a town hall happening soon, where we can all discuss how we handle this corrupt institution. The date is on our IG because I can't remember it right now. There is also a protest on October 4th where we honor all the martyrs over the past 2 years. In addition to the over 77 years of violent occupation, ethnic cleansing of Palestine. Thank you. I'm going to hand it off to my friend now.
Exercise, and it goes like this. So one of my friends over here, maybe. What would you do if a cop asked you a question? What would you say?
Shut the fuck up. You don't say anything. What's your name?
Fuck you!
What's your name? Where do you live? What's your birthday? Who are you with? What do you say when a cop asks you a question? Are you drunk? You do not say anything. Okay? I want to talk to my lawyer. years of genocide and 77 years of brutal occupation. Today, the TMU student body showed up and showed out. We stand here today as a testament to reaffirm that we will not be stopped and we will not rest until we see disclosure, divestment, and a free Palestine. Resistance doesn't end here, nor did it start here. Gaza needs us. Gaza is calling us. We call upon you, the students, the future revolution, to continue to show up and organize for Gaza. Justice will not be achieved through remaining idle. We implore you to call upon your administration to disclose and divest. On October 2nd, for Justice in Palestine will be holding a congress to discuss the recent report that we have released. This report has captured so much of TMU's complicity in the ongoing genocide of the Palestinian people over the past 2 years, and we strongly recommend that you come to both the town hall on October what? 2nd. And that you read the report. If you don't have time, there is an executive summary. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Everything was so good, and I beg you guys to come out and follow us on our Instagram if you're already SJP TMU. One more time.
I also just want to do one last closing remark. I said this earlier and I will say it again. People are desensitized to what's happening in Palestine and elsewhere, but we cannot do that. We cannot do that because everyone throughout the world needs us to use our voices because we have privilege here, okay? From Palestine, to Lebanon, to Syria, to Yemen, to Congo, to Sudan, to Haiti, one more time. I love to see the amazing amount of presence here today. But one student being brutalized, I know that she appreciates the support. But what she would love more than anything is for people to support this divestment campaign and oppose this genocide as much as people are outraged about her brutalization.